What is up? Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. So, first off, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I really appreciate it. Hope you're getting something out of this. And if you could rate the podcast, share it with your friends and family members who are struggling with the topics we're talking about, I'd really appreciate it, because then it just allows me to help more people. But anyway, time to dig in. So in today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about why, instead of constantly striving for fat loss, why you should actually be focusing on the root cause. And if your gut is not healthy, if your gut is not functioning optimally, if you're bloated all the time, if you are gassy, if you have trouble digesting certain foods, you should not be focusing on fat loss. You should be focusing on healing your gut. Because it doesn't matter how much you eat, it doesn't matter how much you work out. If your gut is not healthy, you will not be working with your body, you'll be working against it. Your gut is super important for your overall metabolic health. Your digestive system is what assimilates the nutrients you're consuming. Not only that, it also is connected to your brain. It affects your ability to build muscle. It affects your ability to burn body fat. It affects your overall mental well-being, which can impact those as well. It affects your hormone profiles. So, it's not something to take lightly. I think sometimes people promote like gut healing protocols, parasite cleanses, and all this other crap, and you don't need to do that necessarily. So I'm also a big proponent of test, don't guess. So if you do think there's something wrong, definitely test. But before you do that, right now I'm going to outline the foundation that you need to ensure you have a healthy foundation to build upon to improve your gut health and sustain your healthy gut. Because I think oftentimes people jump too quickly into testing too, whereas if you don't have that foundation set, it really is a waste of time, because you're going to have to do this shit anyway. So before I dig in, I guess first I'll address symptoms. You probably have a gut health issue if you have an autoimmune condition. You probably have a gut health issue if you have skin issues. So if you have severe acne, if you have eczema, if you have psoriasis, if you have weird rashes on your body, usually that's indicative of a gut health problem. If you have inconsistent bowel movements, if you're constantly bloated, if you have chronic fatigue and low energy, you probably have a gut health issue. If you have anxiety or depression, it's not necessarily all rooted in the gut, but the gut can impact the severity of your anxiety and depression and other mental health symptoms. Because as I said, your gut and your brain are connected. So it's very, very important that you realize a lot of these things, a lot of common issues nowadays are due to gut health issues. So if your gut's screwed up, right, it affects your skin, it affects your immune system, it affects your brain function, your mood, your metabolic health. Like it really impacts your overall body ability to function optimally. So anyway, hopefully I made the case. If you have any of these issues, anything similar, and if I didn't list something and you're curious, you can just DM me on Instagram and I'll say like, yes, that may be indicative of a gut health issue. So now that you know, hey, these are red flags that I do have a gut health issue. What should I do to fix it? So step 1, build the solid foundation. This solid foundation is what I work on with all my one-on-one clients, whether they be trying to improve their overall hormonal health, get better fat loss results and sustain them, improve their gut health, just be healthy in general. Everybody, every health goal needs this foundation. So, what is this foundation? It is the things I talk about all the time. This foundation is the entire first phase of my coaching program. And it consists of getting enough movement throughout the day. For most people, that would be 8,000 steps or more a day. Strength training. Strength training is crucial. And go back to previous episodes where I kind of dig into that a little bit more, but everybody should be strength training. It will look different for everybody as well, but everybody should be doing it. And you should be strength training 2 to 4 times a week. Usually more than that is overtraining for some people and will result in negative results. Your body also needs to recover when you're strength training, because muscle is not built in the gym, it's broken down in the gym. Muscle is built through the recovery. So anyway, so daily movement, strength training. Number 3, hydration. You need to drink enough fluids. They're crucial for digestive health, brain health, energy levels, all the things. A large part of us is fluid. I forgot the proportion, but a large portion of our mass is water. So drink it. Usually you want about half of your body weight in ounces daily. If you're sweating more in the summer, increase that. If you're exercising, about an extra 20 ounces for every hour of strenuous activity. And number 4, sleep. Sleep is crucial for every aspect of health. You should be sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night. And I go into a lot of details in another episode. I think it's called like How to Sleep Like a Baby. So want more info, go to that one. Okay, so we got hydrate, sleep, strength train, walk. Next, number 5, manage your stress. I really think the root of most diseases, metabolic dysfunction, gut health problems are all rooted in stress. And stress, it's not just mental. Physiological stress, if you're not consuming enough calories for your body, if you're severely under consuming calories, that's a stress on the body. If you're overactive, that's a stress on the body. If you're under sleeping, that's a stress on the body. If your life is very crazy, that's a stress on the body as well. If you're not capable of developing healthy coping mechanisms, that's going to impact your results, your recovery, your gut health, your brain health, your hormonal health. It's going to impact everything. So stress really is something that needs to be managed well, and that needs to be manipulated properly. Because a lot of the things we do for our health, they're an acute stressor on the body to allow the body to adapt to that acute stressor. But if you have too many stressors on the body, your body will not be capable of adapting to them properly. And so that's when things like hormone regulation or hormone dysregulation can occur. Like for me specifically, when I lost my menstrual cycle, there was too much stress. So my body was like, we cannot reproduce right now, because that's what the menstrual cycle is, right? It's telling your body, hey, we can reproduce. So it was like, hey, this is not a safe environment to have a child, so we're going to use that energy that we'd use for reproductive purposes towards other processes in the body. So stress very crucial, impacts hormonal health, which again impacts everything else. So if your stress is not managed well, you will probably have gut health issues. You will probably have difficulty losing body fat, not because cortisol makes you fat, but because, as I said, other processes in the body will downregulate functions. So some things that can happen are like if you're too stressed and your body doesn't want to burn as many calories to conserve energy because it thinks you're in a stress state, it might prevent you from doing your normal, like, non-exercise activity things. So like twitching, tapping your foot. Like when I'm seated, I constantly tap my foot, or shuffling side to side, or moving your, like tapping your finger on the table or whatever, like little movements that you do. It might make you do less of them. Like your brain might make you do less of them. So then overall, you're just burning less calories throughout the day. So which is why it can impact fat loss, and then it can impact gut health. There are so many people, clients I've worked with, myself, where when you're in a very stressed state, specifically travel, that's like one of the most common issues I've had personally. When I travel, it throws off my whole digestive system. I have difficulty going to the bathroom, even if I'm eating the same foods, even if I'm eating the same amount of fiber, even if I'm staying hydrated, even if I'm sleeping, right? It throws everything off. And other people have it where stress can make them go to the bathroom. So it's because your body, so there's like rest and digest, right? So if you're in a relaxed state, your body is more comfortable going to the bathroom. Because if you think about it, like in context of being chased by a lion back in the day, you don't want to have to squat down and take a dump if you're being chased by a lion. So your body's going to be like, nope, we're going to hold that in for later. So anyway, stress is crucial. Really want to emphasize that. And then number 6, nutrition. That's like one of the biggest things. If you're eating a very highly processed food diet, you're going to have digestive issues. You're going to have difficulty losing body fat. You're going to have difficulty maintaining a healthy hormone profile, because hyperpalatable foods are very hard to control when it comes to like consuming them. They're made to be overeaten. That's why they're hyperpalatable. They're engineered to be overeaten. Like chips. You could probably sit down and eat an entire bag of potato chips. Could you eat 5 whole russet potatoes? No, I couldn't do that. I don't blame you. So, it's if you're not eating primarily whole foods, which are the foods our body recognizes they're more filling, they have more nutrients in them, you're probably going to be hungry more frequently. You're probably going to overconsume. The overconsumption is going to make it hard to lose body fat. Being at a higher body fat percentage is going to affect your hormonal health. Eating foods that are low in fiber and low in nutrients are going to affect your digestive health as well. So, prioritizing whole foods and eating enough fiber is crucial. There's a very high rate of colon cancer in Japan and Asia, and I think this is a hypothesis. There are not studies shown, but they tend to eat less fiber over there. They eat a lot of white rice, and I think that could be part of it. Again, not stating this as a fact, just a hypothesis. So anyway, fiber is really important. Most things that have a lot of fiber in them as well are loaded with nutrients. Like you look at avocados, broccoli, apples, bananas, berries, fruits, vegetables, they all got a lot of nutrients in them. And our body needs them to kind of move things through the digestive tract. And part of a lot of gut health issues are due to low motility, which is your body's motility is the movement through the digestive tract. So low motility would be things not moving through the digestive tract quickly enough. So like if you're traveling and you're backed up, or if you're not having daily bowel movements, that's a sign you probably have low motility. And that can cause a whole slew of issues. It could cause intestinal permeability, which is like just little holes in your digestive tract where food particles can leak through, which can cause autoimmune reactions to those particular foods. It can cause small intestinal bacterial overgrowth because the foods are staying too long in the system. And so the bacteria can grow and propagate, and which causes all sorts of very fun things. Anyway, the point being, fiber helps keep things moving. So eating a high fiber diet, that's for women 25 or more grams a day, for men 35 or more grams a day, that's going to really help keep that digestive tract mobile so that things don't get stuck and you don't cause issues, and it'll keep your digestive tract nice and healthy and functioning optimally. So anyway, those are like the pillars. Additionally, a new one I've learned about recently is getting morning sunlight, because sunlight sets your circadian rhythm, and your circadian rhythm impacts all the functions in your body, including digestion. So it's really important to make sure that you are getting outside, you are getting some sunlight, and you can do that while you're getting your 8,000 steps. We can go on a walk in the morning after breakfast. So anyway, that's the foundation. If you've built that foundation and you're still having gut issues, which is what my husband and I have been going through, then that's when step 2 would be to get tested and to see. And there's different things that you can do. You can start with blood work, and I definitely recommend that if you haven't had your labs done, because there's a lot of things that can cause gut issues that can be seen in blood work. And if you're working with a health coach that knows their stuff, they will know what to test. So usually you want to test your hormones, your CBC, your CMP, and certain nutrients in particular that can indicate that, oh, you might be having some absorption issues. Or, maybe you're not getting enough of this nutrient throughout the diet. And another thing to kind of help you identify if your body isn't absorbing the foods you're eating is to know the micronutrients you are consuming on a regular basis. And you can do that through using a food tracking app called Chronometer, which I highly recommend. It's giving me a lot of insight into my overall nutrition and into my clients as well. It gives us a bigger picture because it's not just the macros, it's the micros as well. So anyway, check that out. Doing that and getting blood work done can give you a lot of insight. But then if your labs look normal, that's when you'd probably want to do something like a GI map, where you literally poop in a box and ship it. And a health coach that knows their stuff can identify, hey, like these are the specific things that are happening to you. Next step is going through a protocol to help with whatever your gut health issue that's been identified is. So for mine, it was an overgrowth of bad bacteria, undergrowth of good, so I'm going through a specific protocol to address that. For somebody else, it might just be their pancreas isn't producing enough digestive enzymes. For somebody else, they might actually have a parasite. So really depends, but that's why I'm like, test, don't guess. There's a lot of different things that could be going on with your gut because a lot of the symptoms overlap. And so if you're just trying every gut health protocol under the sun, every supplement stack, you might be wasting a lot of money doing that and not actually addressing the root cause or addressing the issue that is occurring. And some treatments can make other issues worse. So you definitely want to identify what the problem is before you try to solve it. And as I stated before, if you don't have that foundation, these issues will continue to come back. So like if you have SIBO, which is the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and your stress isn't managed well, you're eating a standard American diet and you're not sleeping enough, and you go through a protocol and get rid of it, it's going to come back. So you need to address that root cause first, and then go through the protocol, and then maintain your gut health. But as I said, if your gut is not healthy, doing these other things, like trying to improve your performance, trying to lose body fat, trying to get toned, trying to improve your hormonal health, it's going to be an uphill battle. And it's going to take way longer than if you address that root cause problem. And in fact, a lot of gut health issues can cause hormone imbalances. They can cause you to feel like you're have a higher body fat percentage than you do because your body's inflamed, you're retaining more water. You feel bloated all the time. You look bigger because you're inflamed. So I think gut health is definitely underrated. It's been like, well, now I guess in social media, it's been kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm thinking of? Overhyped sometimes. Like parasite cleanses, that's been like very common. But I mean, it really is important. And so, anyway, if you do have any symptoms I listed at the beginning, start with those, establishing that foundation, and then work with a coach to help you get rid of whatever is going on. And this is something that I specialize in, and I specialize in it because I've gone through it. I'm going through it now. I've had issues in the past. And I'm very passionate about it because I think a lot of people have gut issues, and those issues are causing other problems for them and making their life miserable. So I really want to help people with that. So anyway, If you do have gut issues and you'd like some extra guidance, I offer a free consultation. And in there, we can see if working together would be a good option for you. If not, no pressure either way. You should walk away with actionable steps on what you should be doing right now to help improve your gut health, fat loss results, and just feel better. So anyway, this is why fix your gut first. Please fix it first. Then do the fun, aesthetic, fat loss, performance-based goals. It's so crucial. So anyway, thank you for listening to my rant. Hope you got something out of this. And if you did, or you know somebody struggling with their gut health, send this their way. I think it'll really, really help them kind of look at it from a more holistic perspective on things they can actually start implementing to help improve it. So anyway, I'll see you on the next one.